guys, my name is Natalie Backman and I'm going to share one of my favorite books with you today. It is called Let's Make Yoga Magic and it is by Heather Leah. The illustrations are by Sandy Sonke. Let's see here, give ourselves a little more space. Our bodies are absolutely magical. They can make so many fun and wonderful shapes. When we make yoga shapes with our bodies, we feel strong, stretchy, calm, and full of peace. Every single body can make yoga shapes. And the way our bodies make each yoga shape is unique and magical to us. The most important parts of making yoga shapes are being safe, having fun, and learning to love our bodies. The first posture we'll play with is mountain pose. And in Sanskrit, which is the language of yoga, it is called Tadasana. Mountain. I'll show you the picture first, and then we'll read the description. One of my favorite things about this book is this little wheel here, which can take us from daytime to nighttime and back again. Mountain. You're welcome to practice this with me as I'm reading to you. I plant my feet deep down in the ground, then close my eyes and block out all sound. Being a mountain makes me calm and steady. Whatever comes my way, I know I will be ready. I'll show you the picture again. So you're standing with your feet firmly rooted into the earth. It's even more fun if you can practice this outside, actually standing, making contact with the earth, between the earth and your bare feet. Your hands can be in Anjali Mudra like this girl here with her hands pressed together in front of her heart, or even more traditionally, the arms can be down by your sides with your palms relaxed and open. So again, this is mountain pose or Tadasana in Sanskrit. Next is bridge pose. So you'll start by lying down on your back, and I will show you again the photo, or the illustration, pardon me, before we do the pose. And again, we've got our circle of life here. Can you see the leaves and the paper boats and the duck going underneath this little girl's bridge? All right, bridge pose. I lie down on my back and send my hips to the sky. Over rivers and valleys, I let them pass by. My belly stays up to let the water flow under. So strong and so brave, my bridge is a wonder. So again, let's take a look at bridge pose. So you're going to lie on your back with your knees bent, and then you'll press down through your feet and your shoulders and lift your hips up into the sky. See, she's lifting her hips, and your spine, your back, will be very long from your shoulders all the way up to your knees. And you can, if you want to, bring your hands together underneath your back and sort of shimmy your shoulders under you, and then it becomes even more of a back bend and you can open up a bit more through your heart. So next, snake pose or cobra pose, or in Sanskrit, Bhujangasana. And I love Bhujangasana with cobra pose because it gives you an opportunity to sound kind of like a snake. You say Bhujangasana. It's a good way to remember it as well. So here's our snake pose. Go ahead and take a look before I read how to do it. You can see the motion that we're going to be practicing. And just imagine Bhujangasana. Here's the description. If you want, you can get onto your bellies now and practice. I lie down and touch my belly to the ground, then slither and slide, moving all around. With a strong neck and back, I pretend to be a snake. Though I'm gliding on the floor, I feel wide awake. Bhujangasana, Cobra Pose, or Snake Pose, is very energizing. It really opens the heart and draws your energy into your heart and a little bit up into your head. So if you're feeling sleepy, this can be even better than taking a nap sometimes. Next up, butterfly pose. I sit right down and close my eyes, imagining my life as a butterfly. Feet together, I move my arms and legs like wings. When I am being a butterfly, my heart sings. And I'll get her little butterfly wings to come out so that you can see them. Here's our butterfly. And in Sanskrit, this pose is actually called Baddha Konasana, which means bound angle pose. She's bound because she's holding on to her feet, so she's binding her feet, and her knees are bent at an angle. So that's bound angle pose, Baddha Konasana. But we can also call it butterfly pose. And next, you've got a little bit of a sneak preview, is dancer pose. And in Sanskrit, dancer is Nataranjasana. It sounds kind of like my name, so this was always one of my favorites. Nataranjasana. Let me read the description to you. Dancer pose. So this is one for balance, so we really get to see how strong and supple and stable we can be in our bodies. I stand on one leg and grab my toes up high. Being a dancer, I am graceful and spry. Sometimes I feel wobbly and over I fall, but I quickly try again, keeping one hand on the wall. So she's giving you a little bit of a clue. If you're having trouble balancing, one of the best ways to get even better at it, see she's a little wobbly right now, is to place this hand here on a wall or a chair or a parent, anything that's strong and steady so that you can focus on your breath and staying calm. Dancer pose, Natarajasana. Next, tree pose, another balancing posture. One leg is strong like the trunk of a tree. The rest of me reaches up wild and free. My roots dig deep and my branches bloom tall. I love every creature, no matter how small. See her tree? Standing on one leg, the other knee is bent, and ideally, this foot here is pressing against the top of your leg, so your inner thigh. We want to try not to press the foot against the knee itself, because that can actually hurt after a while. If you're having trouble balancing, you can again place one hand on a wall, or you can lower your toes a little bit so your toes are kind of touching the ground and your foot is sort of hugging around your ankle, and that might give you a little bit more stability. And then as you keep practicing, you'll get stronger and stronger and your balance will develop and that foot will slide up higher and higher on your leg. Next is plane pose, or what we call, oh, and also tree pose, I should go back. In Sanskrit is Vrikshasana. Vrik with a V, Vrikshasana. Plane pose we call Veerabhadrasana 3. It's warrior 3. But plane pose is a fun name as well because you really do feel like an airplane. Arms go out wide like a steady airplane. If I'm calm, I can fly through the sun or the rain. Being a plane makes my body feel strong. I feel balanced and peaceful all day long. So he's pretty lucky that he feels balanced and peaceful. Sometimes people feel a little nervous in this pose. And there's no right or wrong way to feel, no right or wrong thing to experience. Whatever you're feeling and whatever you're experiencing is exactly right for you at that time. Let's see, I think he is actually going flying. He's balancing again on one foot. We've got lots of balancing poses right now. See, there's his foot. And his back leg is extended really strong behind him. Arms can be out to the sides. You can also place your hands on the ground if that makes it easier for you. Plain pose or Veerabhadrasana 3, Warrior 3. Pretzel. I sit down crisscross on the ground. Give myself a hug and twist around. Moving like a pretzel, I can feel my very best. It helps me to stay calm and never get stressed. That's pretty appealing right now, right? Staying calm and never getting stressed. That sounds like a pretty valuable pretzel to me. Let's see what happens if we go like this. Ah! Anybody want a pretzel? So you're sitting crisscross. I like to say crisscross yoga sauce. Putting one arm behind you and one hand reaching across toward your opposite knee, or you can wrap your arms all the way around like this boy is doing and give yourself a hug. And just make sure you turn yourself into a pretzel to both sides. We want to make sure we stay balanced and even. Next, boat pose. Navasana, boat pose. Let's read the description. I sit in my boat and get ready to row. My hands and feet lift, and I'm ready to go. I like to pretend that I'm floating at sea. Rowing my boat keeps me calm and happy. So not just calm, but happy too. See, he's kind of rocking the boat here a little bit. This one takes a lot of strength in your belly, and it's a little challenging to balance at first, but it will just get easier and easier when you practice. It's called a yoga practice for a reason. It's a practice. It's not about being perfect. It's about being exactly where you are that day, that moment in time, and not having any judgment, trying not to label anything as good or bad or right or wrong, but just being with your body, being with your breath, exactly as you are. We only have a couple poses left. This is another one of my favorites, Warrior 2. So we've already done Warrior 3 that looked like an airplane. This one, Warrior 2. So again, Veerabhadrasana, Warrior 2. Let's look at this warrior. He looks kind of like an Indiana Jones warrior, a warrior of knowledge and information. I bend one knee with my arms out strong. The other leg is straight and long. Being a warrior makes my heart feel courageous. I am ready for adventures, both wild and outrageous. He looks like he's ready for some outrageous, wild adventures. Okay, so like he said, one knee is bent, and that knee is going to stay stacked over your ankle or your heel, and those toes are pointing out away from you. And then the back leg is straight. So one of your legs is straight, and those toes are pointing the same direction as your belly button, basically. And then you want to try to press down through both feet evenly, so you're not leaning more into one than the other. Your spine is long and tall and straight. Your shoulders are right over your ribs are right over your hips, and your head is on top. Arms are stretching out to the sides, and eventually he will actually look out over that front hand and gaze off into his upcoming adventures. All right, Sneak preview, next pose is dragon. Dragon. When I am a dragon, I imagine my wings. I'm brighter and stronger than anything. One knee is up, the other on the ground. I open my mouth and make a fierce roaring sound. So there are a couple of elements to this pose which I really like, aside from his wings. That's pretty awesome. So this pose sometimes we call crescent lunge or Anjaneyasana in Sanskrit. It's a back bend, so it's a heart opener, which means that it's going to help you feel more and more powerful and enlivened and energized. And he's incorporating something that you could call either dragon breath or lion's breath. He's roaring, but the way I like to do it, it sounds a little bit more like a dragon. It sounds kind of like you're letting a whole bunch of fire out. And it's particularly helpful if I'm ever feeling a little anxious, a little overwhelmed, like I need to have a temper tantrum. Instead of a temper tantrum, I like to do this dragon breath. So I'm going to show you how to do it. It's not in the book, but it's valuable. And it looks and feels really silly. So sometimes instead of a temper tantrum, you end up having a fit of laughter, which everybody tends to like more, myself included. Let's take a deep breath in. Gather up all your temper tension and then stick your tongue out and let it go. Want to do it again? How about 2 more times? Deep breath in. One more time. Deep breath in. Feel free to be really, really silly. And then just take a moment to notice how you feel. I feel a lot more calm. How about you? It's pretty good, huh? Okay. We just have 2 more poses. The next one is called downward facing dog or down dog. And this one in Sanskrit is a mouthful, I'm warning you, but it's kind of fun to say. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Downward dog. There's our down doggy, and I think his tail wags. Maybe when you're doing this pose, you can wag your tail too. This is my dog's favorite pose. He does this every morning before I take him out. My hands go on the ground. My body goes up. I love to act like a strong little pup. I wag my tail and give a big smile. Hanging out upside down can be fun for a while. Okay, there's our downward facing dog. And just think about having a really long, spacious spine. So it doesn't really matter if your legs are straight. His legs are straight. My dog's back legs are never straight when he does this, by the way. And he is a dog, so obviously he does it better than I do. His legs are never straight. It's more about opening up and stretching, getting out some of the fatigue, the tiredness, the sleepiness, so that he's ready to go out and play. Last one. This is our opportunity to do a little bit of meditation. So this book is calling it The Moment of Peace. Okay. So you can sit crisscross yogasas, or you can lay on a bed and relax. Anything that makes you feel safe and supported, where you can really soften and release and let go, is going to be excellent for this moment of peace. And let's see what she has to say. I sit on the ground and rub my hands together fast. We'll do this part together. I cover my eyes and let some time pass. I take a big breath first in and then out. This is what yoga magic is all about. A moment of peace. So that's a really important line here. This is what yoga magic is all about. Sometimes we get caught up in all of the fun poses and we think that that's what yoga is. But really, what we're working toward the whole time, the whole point of it all, is this moment of peace that we call meditation. It's a good thing to remember. I'll give you one more little peek at her moment of peace, and then we will practice. Okay, so find your comfortable seat. That might be on a chair, it might be on a cushion, it might be on the ground. Relax your shoulders, lengthen your neck and your spine. And then bring your hands together, and we're going to rub the palms together. See if you can create a little bit of heat, a little bit of friction. Are you feeling it? I'm feeling it. Just a couple more seconds. And then we're going to place the hands over our eyes and take a couple big breaths in and out. See if you can feel energy from your hands being drawn in through your eyeballs into your brain, and then mapping out into your whole body. Breathe this peace in. And let's just do it one more time. So rub your hands together. Get some heat going. And then we're going to place our hands over our hearts and take a couple more big breaths in. And as you breathe into your hands, into your heart, imagine that you're filling your heart with peace and love and joy. And then realize that this peace and love and joy is actually pouring from your heart into your hands. That you are the source of peace and love and joy. So fill your hands up with this peace, and fill them up with love, and fill them up with joy. Press the hands together. Make sure that that peace and that love and that joy are strong. And then open your hands and give peace and love and joy to the rest of the world. Wherever you want to send it. Could be to your family or your friends. Could be to your whole community. It could be to another community, anywhere in the world that you think needs a little extra peace and love and joy. And remember that this is a very special kind of gift. It is yoga magic. The more peace and love and joy you give, the more will be returned to you. So you never run out. Thanks for practicing with me today. I hope you enjoyed going through the poses and, most importantly, giving yourself that moment of peace. That's the real magic of yoga. I look forward to spending some magical time with you again soon. Namaste.